It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160, and he is Indiana Borough Police Chief Justin Schawl joining us this morning. Conversation brought to you by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to have you back with us here today.
It is great to be here. Thank you.
Well, we're at the beginning of a summer season. I want to talk to you about a very serious topic in a second, but, just to review, we had our first outdoor public festival type event over the weekend. Unfortunately, it was really wet and soggy, but it's good from, I'm sure, a police standpoint as well as everything else to be able to turn your attention toward events like that and just to walk around and be among people again.
So it's nice to get back to special events. That's something that Indiana Borough has always done well, and it's something certainly that the police department takes great pride in protecting those gatherings and supporting them. And so certain things we just cannot account for, and weather being one of them. Yeah. So I'm certainly proud to and pleased to present that there were no negative issues that I've been aware of from a public safety standpoint for the gathering, and the weather could have been better, but for sure a nice first event for Indiana Borough.
Yeah, and those folks really work so hard. That's the thing. You hate to see people working that hard to make something really special, and then the weather to affect it in such a way.
Well, that's for sure. But Indiana Borough is there's no lack of effort here, and these event organizers are among the best that I think there could be, and that's for all events that we have. Everyone's coordinated, and I tell you, people I think would be shocked to know exactly how much planning and preparation goes into even the smallest event, and that's not counting on the events that we assume are going to be larger scale events in Indiana. So quite impressive from the inside looking out.
All right. So I want to bring this very serious topic up to you because in the last week we have two police chases, not in Indiana Borough, but police chases involving people taken off when they see those flashing lights behind them. And both of them ended with the driver involved in an accident, a pretty serious accident. The one yesterday, a life flight type of thing. Fleeing from the police, actually drove onto the Hoodoo Bug Trail, trying to get away that way, came back onto 119, driving north in the southbound lanes, doing whatever he could to get away. Could have been really, really disastrous. Thankfully, that part of it was controlled. But talk, if you would, about police pursuits and how police know is the right time to break off a pursuit for public safety reasons.
Well, I'll tell you, those are excellent questions, and I think the most candid I could be with you is that I don't have all the details for either of those pursuits that took place, although, like you, I've certainly heard the reporting on it, and so I would say that it's judgment. Judgment plays a large part in vehicle pursuits and a decision to pursue, a decision not to pursue. If you do pursue, when do you terminate a pursuit? What outweighs the danger of the pursuit versus the public safety issue of getting a car stopped? The reality is that if someone is not stopping for the police and they're willing to go to such great lengths to evade a traffic stop, then generally you can assume that there's something amiss or something certainly dangerous, a public safety concern existing even before that car was stopped. There are so many reasons, so many things. It's just, but as far as a pursuit goes, really, it depends on the individual judgment of the officer, the policies, the guard police departments or guide police departments all over Pennsylvania and the nation regarding pursuits. And so certainly dangerous. There's no safe pursuit, first and foremost. And that's not a danger necessarily created by a police officer engaging. It's a danger in the person's mindset operating a vehicle. So these are all things to take into account. I'm not aware as chief or in my 20 years as a police officer of any perfect scenario for any police action, to be quite honest. But pursuits are dangerous. We all recognize they're dangerous, but also in settings they're necessary. But we just have to make sure that the risk to public safety doesn't outweigh the risk to or the benefit of the stop, which is a deduction that's made in a split second by professionals who are trained. And that's the one thing that Indiana Borough and Indiana County residents and certainly be assured of is that there is emergency vehicle operations training that all of us take. We're all guided by policy and procedure, and so certainly that adds a level of protection to what we're doing.
That suspect's vehicle being on the road in any case is a danger in the first place, especially if they're behaving erratically. The gentleman yesterday was. The one that ended in Atwood last week was a guy, and this, comes into a judgment thing as well. State police officers called to the boat launch at the lake. There's a guy there with a pickup truck, a woman there, and he can't arrest the guy for being there and for having obvious signs of alcohol impairment. So he has to give him the warning, but pretty soon then the guy comes flying by in a pickup truck. He gave pursuit. They passed a school bus that was getting ready to load kids on. The police officer broke off the pursuit there for public safety. The guy later crashed his truck. So that was actually 3 incidents in this area last week where people took off. And it never ends well for the suspect. They're always going to be caught. And unfortunately, they just don't seem to get that through their heads.
Well, that's true. I mean, we do have ways, certainly in 2021, to identify drivers of vehicles, and there's not a large success rate. If there even would be a singular success rate in evading the police, I think that it's really, really a dangerous scenario. So certainly nothing to be accomplished by not stopping for the police. Everyone needs to stop for the police and allow us to conduct an investigation and have trust and faith that if you feel that for some reason that investigation didn't turn out in your favor, that there are other recourses, best recourses to serve you as opposed to running. Running will always result in arrest or, God forbid, danger to you, to an officer, to someone in the public. And certainly something to be staying away from.
Police chases in vehicles are just so dangerous because of the suspect's behavior. The guy yesterday in California or wherever it was, not in this state, that on the motorcycle chase, he ended up shooting and killing one of the police officers chasing. Public safety is so important. Officer safety is important as well.
Oh, my gosh, yes. I mean, nothing that I would ever say would message differently than that. Officer safety is paramount. Community safety is paramount. There are people that exist that are not afraid to do harm to others, to police officers. It's a dangerous situation. All the men and women in uniform, certainly here in Indiana County and Indiana Borough, true professionals, a great deal of training, great deal of proven, solid judgment. And we are not immune from strife. We're not immune from the horrors that happen in other communities. But I will tell you that Indiana Borough, Indiana County's police departments are among the best that I have been knowledge of, have been part of. Extremely proud to be with everyone. And officer safety is paramount. That's the job of the leader of an organization, is to ensure the safety of my officers, ensure the safety of the community, ensure the safety of other officers that we're engaging with. And I know that other leaders are doing the exact same thing, which brings me a great deal of confidence as well as a leader. But this is a we continue to navigate unpredictable and dangerous times. Yeah. And because that is a fact, we have to be guarded. We have to be on guard. We have to make sound decisions, and we have to ask/compel others to make those same sound decisions for your safety, for my safety, for the safety of my family. Just the fact that a car would pass a school bus with an intoxicated driver presents a number of dangerous issues. Sure. And if there's an opportunity to stop that before it starts, it has to be done. If there's an opportunity to stop that because we're creating this, we may potentially create a greater risk by trying to pursue that person, then that has to be done. And these, again, are split-second decisions based on years and years of training and best effort. So certainly the decisions are sound, but certainly they come at you quickly when there's a need for a decision. There is no one the police can call, theoretically, to call the police other than another police officer. So we are our own support systems.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So that is, as I said, a very serious topic, and our message is: if you see the flashing lights, you're not going to get away. Just pull over. That's the bottom line. All right. So let's talk a little bit about Indiana Borough Police in the summer of 2021. It's going to be different this year than it was last year. You're going to see more activity in terms of the number of people out there on the streets, and I know that your call then is renewed for things like pedestrian safety in downtown Indiana and around campus. When people come to visit campus and they're considering IUP as a university choice, all those safety things are, again, you use the word paramount. They're right there at the top of the list, aren't they?
So they are, and flexibility is key for a community police department, because this time last year we were asking people to be cognizant of public health and safety risks. We were, quite honestly, in a very strange way, we were really trying to ask people to stay away from each other and stay away from downtown. This summer brings a totally different flair to it, which is much more welcome. It's a more this will be a more comfortable environment for everyone this summer. So the messages from my office, the messages from the Indiana Borough Police Department office is going to be, we want folks to come downtown. We want traffic. We want pedestrian traffic, but we need everyone to be safe. We need to understand bicycles need to stay off sidewalks on Philadelphia Street. We want bicyclists, but creates a danger to pedestrians when bicycles are on Philadelphia Street between 5th to 9th Street. We want traffic, but at the same point in time, with more cars in town, pedestrian safety becomes an issue. But pedestrians, we need to encourage our pedestrians to care for their own safety and the safety of others by not stepping out into intersections where cars may be turning right, regardless of what the signal says, because by the time an accident occurs, it's too late. There's a harm that's been done, and the police department can investigate it. We can investigate it well, but we can't erase the damage to you or the loss that you would experience by being involved in something like that. So as we gather this summer, very much looking forward to nice weather, walking downtown. I would expect our community to see the police officers on bicycle in the community. I would expect us to see our Comfort Dog program continue to expand. I would expect for you to see officers walking downtown more frequently as the opportunities present itself. And I hope that brings comfort to our business community and also to our motorist and pedestrian community who are going to be taking advantage of all this in Indiana Borough. We're here to support you. We're just as excited as you are to get out, and we just want everyone to do it safely.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to ask you in my best Brian Dennehy voice, how's the dog? But it was so good meeting him last month, and he really seems to be somebody that can make a real difference in the department and in the town.
Well, I'll tell you, the reality is he'll always be a better guest for you than I will be. That is for certain. But he's there for community impact and positive community impact. And, our mission has always been peace, safety, and comfort with my appointment as chief. And that's what we're continuing. This is really a step. We recognize 2020 was a very difficult year for so many reasons, and we need to build relationships. We want to build relationships. Everyone is better in an atmosphere of trust than we are in other atmospheres. So we're hoping to be able to plug in with our other law enforcement partners who have canines for other purposes, important purposes, necessary purposes. And we're just hoping that we can plug in perhaps a more non-traditional way, but yet a way that will have equal importance to the communities that they serve. So traumatic incidents and school visits and potentially hospital visits and anywhere where our dog can bring value to someone in a positive way is where we would be more than comfortable to have it be. But like every police officer, it has to meet its training milestones. So we broke them out a little bit early, knowing that there was going to be a significant amount of training. But, on-the-job training is the best kind of training. And so we're navigating that, and we're trying to blend it.
Yeah, he's done a good job. He's a good dog.
Yes, he is.
He is. Good dog. And he wags his tail nicely. Unlike you. You do not wag your tail very nicely. Police Chief Justin Schawl, thanks for coming in to visit with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160. FM and AM 1160. FM and